I'm Theo.
And I'm Juliet.
And this is Apologies Accepted.
We offer an entertaining look at some of the big issues in history by examining public apologies of the famous and infamous.
We're looking at politicians, serial killers, actors, and you.
Send us a public apology you would like to make, and we'll read it on the air and give you a chance to redeem yourself, or just get some guilt off your shoulders.
We're here for you. Once a week, maybe more if you're really, really sorry.
Apologies Accepted,
the
podcast. And I'm not Theo.
And I'm not Juliet.
And we're not here, but we actually are. We're here podcasting for all 351 of you, which is an amazing number, and we're just flabbergasted, frankly, that we have 351 listeners. It's amazing. And 150 downloads in France. Hi, France. We love you.
Bonjour, bitches.
Je t'aime. Je vous aime, I guess, or something. Yeah, so how have you been, Theo? You've been busy.
It has been busy. It has been selling houses. Our house, to make it sound like it's been some real estate takeover monopoly.
Yeah, the real estate mogul.
Yeah. No, sold the house, found a rental. Haven't seen it, just saw it online. Moving. Puppy. I'm still in Palm Springs with my friend Terry, but I hit the road as soon as we are done recording, and then I will spend 2 days staring at the cement road that runs
beautiful
between
I-10,
here.
Not I-10. Is it I-10?
It's well, that 10. I don't know if it's I-10 or a...
Yeah. Man, you've got a lot going on, and James has seen the house, and he thinks it's fine, so that's got to be a relief.
That is a relief, and also it's just a rental, and so there's like this whole different think that I have. Mm-hmm. When we buy a house, I'm very concerned about the neighborhood, of course, the house itself, right?
Sure.
Falling down, not falling down, how much work they're going to be, right? Are we going to paint? But because it's a rental, it's like the only thing I care about is... making sure that we don't knock holes in walls. Beyond that, I don't care what neighborhood it's in. I don't care really about the condition of the house. I just care about the price. And then sort of getting organized for when we do buy a house, when I will start caring again about things like shingles.
Right. Is it in a residential neighborhood, like as opposed to where you are now, which is kind of more an entertainment district?
It is in a residential neighborhood, but it is across the street from an apartment complex. And for me, that is a great thing because I don't want a bunch of neighbors who are going to their mailbox at the same time I'm going to my mailbox, right?
Totally.
I don't want to have to talk
staring
to people.
at you while you're going to the mailbox.
Right, totally. Talking about me while I'm going to the mailbox.
While you're going to the mailbox,
Sending me mail that I have to get out of my mailbox. I like anonymity. So the apartment complex offers a lot of that because across the street there's 300 people and I don't need to know any one of them. Who cares?
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, and they don't care about me, and so that's going to be great. And then the other two houses that bookend, should I use that word? The house, like their driveways face in opposite directions, so I don't have to see a person if I don't want to.
Nice.
I know. I'm very excited about that. And although our townhomes it still is, it's not ours anymore, yay, in an entertainment district where there's like a couple of bars, a couple of restaurants, literally 100 feet, there's a nightclub across the street, nightclub/restaurant.
We've heard about that.
Oh, yes. And that will play into today's topic as well, which I'm interested in seeing how it plays out. We're doing DaBaby and DaBaby's homophobic comments.
Yes.
Yeah. But before we jump into debate, I'm going to say his name 4,000 times because I love saying DaBaby.
Oh, my God.
But so that's me. What is you?
I've been fine. It's been very quiet as per usual. I have started running again, which is nice. And by running, I mean the first day, which was 2 days ago, Friday, I ran 1 block.
Hey, congratulations. That's
embarrassing. But I had to start somewhere.
You got to get out there and just do it.
I ran 1 block the first day, and I doubled that the next day with 2 blocks. And then tripled it the next day with 3. So I'm probably going to get injured now.
Right. Well, now, when you hit your 4th block, you're going to fall down flat and hurt yourself.
I will. I'll hurt my knee, and then I won't be able to run for 6 months.
Then you can tell everybody how you have a sports injury.
I have a running injury.
Right.
So that's the exciting thing in my life. I got some new running shoes, which turned out to be bricks. So I hate that. And I don't want to go try on shoes. So I just ordered a pair of shoes that are very similar to a new pair that are very similar to some that I used to wear. So I cross my fingers that they're going to be okay. But man, running shoes are so particular. You have to really try them on and run in them before you know if they're going to work for you. So what?
I love that. Running shoes, you have to try them on and run. It's like,
You do?
What?
I mean, it's not like regular shoes. You don't have to take your regular shoes out for a walk before you buy them.
I try them on and then I'll walk around in the store.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I buy them online and then that's it. If I don't, if they're not comfortable.
Okay, mistake number 47. No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did with the running shoes that turned out to be bricks. I bought Hoka's, and I guess I bought the brick style because they're just like, it's like running with cement on my feet, and it's terrible. So now I'm wearing a pair that are a little bit too small until I get my new ones, which are
I think there's some
Mizuno.
psychology.
This podcast is sponsored by Mizuno.
Yeah, totally. No, I was going to say, I think there's some psychology in the design of the shoes. Like, if they're like bricks, then of course you start running because you're trying to run away from the shoes that are strapped
bricks.
to your feet.
More like I can't pick up my feet. So that's been that, and I have a trip scheduled to see my friend Michelle, and that does not need to be bleeped out, Brent, in Ohio in September, which is going to be like a month from now already. Wow. But I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go because of this Delta thing. I don't know what's happening with Delta. Like I was telling you earlier, we're kind of locked down again now here. I guess we could go out, but I'm just not comfortable going to public places that are indoors.
It's been goofy. We were in Hawaii when the Delta stuff really started to break into the news. Like, oh my God, people who've been vaccinated have contracted Delta. They should be wearing masks. And so it was a real mixed bag where we were at, because we were North Shore in a very small town. And so, like, a lot of people were wearing masks inside places, but
that's good.
Not outside places. And that was fine. And I've quickly gotten used to not wearing my mask. And then we came to Palm Springs, where there is no mask mandate. It's at your discretion. But LA has a mask mandate in place. And so there's a lot of people from LA that come out to Palm Springs. So it's weird because it's like there's some people who, it's March 2020 all over again for them. And then there's some people where it's like, why? What's going on? I thought we were done with this. So yesterday I officially decided I'm just wearing a mask all the time. I don't care where I'm at or what's going on.
Yeah, that's smart, I think. And I only go out now to walk the dog, so I don't really need to wear a mask when I'm walking the dog, I feel like, at this point. But if it gets worse, I will. So.
Well, yeah, I would say, the thing that for me that's different is I'm not afraid of dying now. No more so than if I come down with the flu. Right? Because the incidence...
Oh, you mean you're not afraid you're going to get sick and die, not that you're not afraid of dying in the general sense.
Oh, no, I'm not afraid of dying at all. Because I had 2 shots that are going to keep me alive forever. Didn't I tell you? Iridium and... no, so the fear of COVID is kind of gone, or at least it's a different fear. Now it's like, you could maybe...
Well, that worries me, though, because if we're not afraid of it, are we more likely to get it because we'll do riskier things? That's what worries me. Because I was wearing a mask to walk the dog before, and now I'm like,
Oh, Jesus Christ. I was scrubbing down boxes from Amazon.
I never did that. But
for serious, I stuck boxes in the garage for 3 days before I would touch them. Because the thinking at the time was it was about 72 hours on cardboard. 9 days on stainless steel.
Oh, my God. I guess we didn't do that. I don't know why we didn't, but we were just like, let's pretend this doesn't exist.
I like that thinking.
So that's all I've been up to. I think I'm trying to think if I've done anything else, but my life is just notoriously boring. So we're going to go in October to Monte Rio, which is a town just north of here in the forest. So Brent's gonna this is a downer. Brent's gonna be spreading his mother's ashes up there in the forest. So it's fine. That's what she wanted.
That's a sweet thing to do. I think that's a very thoughtful. I mean, sure, it's a sad occasion, but
right. I mean, it could be worse, So, and
it could be a lot,
it's something she wanted, and we get to do this last thing that she wanted for her, which I think is nice. And you can do it in a state park if you get their permission. So, of course, we have permission. So, no question about that. Absolutely, we have 100% permission to spread these ashes in the forest.
There's question. James.
No comment.
James brought his dad's ashes from Scotland back to the U.S. and I don't think he had any paperwork for them. I think he just put them in his carry-on baggage.
His pocket, yeah.
Yeah. We have yet to spread those ashes, so both of my in-laws are residing happily in our closet on an upper shelf, and we will...
Oh my God, really?
Yep. Yeah. And Bobby's ashes, too.
Oh, I have my dog and my cats, and I should spread those ashes somewhere. That's an idea.
Yeah. It's my Aunt Jill took her son's ashes to Scotland to spread them.
Yeah.
And it was very sweet, and it was also very. All right, I'll tell the story. So James and his dad drove us up to the Highlands because that's where our ancestors are from, and so we're up in the Highlands. We stopped in this little pub, had some lunch, and then drove around, and Jill saw, and the Highlands are gorgeous. And so she found the most gorgeous mountain with like this river creek thing coming out of it. And it was really scenic. It was like stepping into a movie, right? I got out of the car and it was just like, are you fucking kidding me? This is an amazing place.
It's so beautiful there.
Oh, it's just beyond. Like it's Lord of the Rings beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So she had a cardboard box with her son Junior's ashes.
Yeah.
And she said, hey, will come with me and we'll spread these? And I was like, yeah, totally, of course. I'm happy to do that. And then she looked at Alec, James' dad. She said, do you want to come? And he was like, no.
Oh, that's
I was
funny.
like, dude, it's not a picnic here. Like, we're going to be spreading my cousin's ashes, really more her son. I mean, it was my cousin, but I'd only met him like 3 or 4 times.
I see.
She met him a lot.
Yeah. Your Aunt Jill met him a lot. Yeah, I imagine so. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. That's a cool story.
Well, yeah. So, but, it was a beautiful experience. And so, while sad, there is, I'm not going to call it bittersweet, but it's.
I like the idea of the ceremony that you had in Hawaii with for the dead or whatever that you lost.
I got a house out of it.
The past couple of years. You got that's right, you did. So I need to have one of those. Maybe we should have one of those for Wanda. I have to figure that out. I'll have to go to Hawaii and get that done. That's before
I know the
Delta
kahuna that will do it.
Awesome. All right, so what are we doing today? We're doing DaBaby, as you have said a couple of times, I believe.
Yeah, DaBaby.
And his real name is Jonathan Kirk. And the funny thing I think about his name is that he used to be known as Baby Jesus. And he changed his name because it was distracting from his music. Like, imagine that. Who would have thought? I guess not him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know a lot about him, even though he is our topic for today. So I can't dive into.
I like your commitment.
Yeah, totally. Well, okay. So just straight up front, no puns intended. Straight. I know zero about rap. Like I can name 5-10 rappers, right? There's some rap I like sometimes that I think real aficionados would say that's just pop, it's not rap. So cool,
sure,
right? There's just some things in life are not for me, and rap music is largely one of those. but I have a lot of friends that are way into it. So when I start thinking about rap or doing anything with rap, it just gets real. It gets real inside baseball real fast.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because like this rapper is friends with that rapper, but not friends with that other rapper, and then they had a deal with this one record label, but now they're in a fight, so they went over to this other record label, but then this other artist that they hate is in the same, and it's like, just sing.
Yeah, shut up and sing.
Oh God, oh no. Sorry, I love a Dixie chick. Although I hate country music, I do like them in that one album. But yeah, so
I like them too.
It's this area of it's like as if I had to memorize a list of medieval French kings, which would be kind of cool for me because I like that period of time. But what's the point?
Right. Yeah, and it changes so fast, so you have to really keep up. And I haven't kept up, as I was saying. I was really into rap in the 80s and early 90s, and since then I have no idea what's going on. Basically, I'm only just now starting to catch up on it a little tiny bit. So we apologize in advance for any errors that we make or assumptions, I suppose. So Baby Jesus, DaBaby, this is not his first time being in trouble. In 2020, he apologized after hitting a female fan in the face in Florida. Earlier that year, he was arrested on a battery charge in Miami after having a fight with a music promoter over payment for a performance. So he's not the nicest guy, it would seem.
Well, nor the smartest, because that arson, battery. Battery,
assault,
right?
battery.
But, I think I was trying to think of larceny, right?
Oh, okay.
So he was owed $30,000 for the night, and he only got $20,000. And so they stole $80 and a cell phone off of the promoter.
I heard about that. It's crazy.
Come on, guys.
Right?
Right.
It hardly seems worth the 6 months in jail you have to spend.
Right. Or the $10,000 you had to pay in attorney fees later in 2020 in order to fight that charge. And
but I guess he made his point. Well, so no one's going to short him again.
Interesting point that you made there, right? It's kind of not about the money. It's about the dishonor.
Yes, exactly. It's
I wasn't
about the
even thinking that way.
Yeah. So that's DaBaby for you, and a little bit about his the way he leans philosophically. Let's say.
Oh, and he's super into God. God's every other word.
Really? What?
Oh, he's very into God.
He is?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Oh, for 100%. Absolutely.
His name was Baby Jesus and he's into God?
Which was weird, right? Because when I heard that DaBaby had issued the apology, I'm going to do that this whole episode.
I'm going to cry
love it.
if you do that.
Anyway, as I was just saying, I can't help it. I love it.
No.
But I was like, what a dumb name for a rapper, right? DaBaby. Right. Come on.
It's a horrible name. The worst name in all rapness.
DaBaby is going to gun you down. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll be looking out for that.
Oh, shit, DaBaby's here.
Right, exactly. I was just dumb. And I'm sorry, if you're going to be a rapper, and it needs to be right? Why not, da pussy liquor, right? Something that's going to
inspire people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of that, rap, to me, the elements of it, again, I'm talking about stuff I don't know. So the outsider commenting on things I really shouldn't be talking about. But there is this hypersexualization of women in rap, right?
Yeah.
And so a name like that sort of wouldn't surprise me. They probably call him DaPL, right?
Right.
But and so when it was DaBaby, what the fucking name is that? But the minute I saw that it had been Baby Jesus and it changed, that sort of tracked for me. I was like, okay, I get it. And I'm from the era of Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yeah.
Speaking of doggy dogs,
that kind of makes sense.
I have a dog barking in the background.
I can't hear it.
So okay for the name, right?
Right. So that's about his name. Now about his personality. So he last month, or I think July, which is last month now, this is the 2nd of August, he went on a rant when he played at the Rolling Loud concert in Miami, saying, well, it wasn't a rant. It kind of was a rant. If you didn't show up today, he said, with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks, then put your cell phone lighter up. Ladies, if your pussy smell like water, put your cell phone lighter up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lighter up. So you can imagine the response.
I'm sure everybody's cell phone went up. I mean,
it did probably at the time, yeah.
But that's okay, because I get like things said in the moment on stage, right? And when I watched the video and of him making those comments, and my thing wasn't so much, oh, you're saying something homophobic. It was, why are you mentioning gay people at all?
Right.
Where does this come from?
Well, I mean, we could go into that.
Well, but I mean, you're on stage, you're in the middle of your set. He'd already been performing.
No.
So it's not some gay person walked by him and bumped into him.
Obviously, he's got some hang up about gay people, and we can speculate about him and being repressed if we wanted to.
We will definitely go down that road for half a foot, because DaBaby is the kind of person who will hunt us down and sue us.
Right. So we'll be careful what we say. So people didn't like what he said. It got out. And he responded by saying, what me and my fans do. Okay, so I'm not going to say the N-word, and I'm not going to say the N-word. I'm going to say blank. Because it's too much for me to go into all that. So he said, what me and my fans do at the live show, it don't concern you blanks on the internet or your bitter bitches on the internet. He also went on to claim that gay fans of his don't have HIV or AIDS because they're not nasty gay blanks or junkies.
Right.
Which is something obviously his publicist did not tell him to say.
One would hope not, but
yes.
Who knows? This feels very stream of consciousness. It feels like it's coming straight from his heart. And
from his heart, such as it is.
And that's weird, because there's this acceptance of gay people. If they're fans of his, that's okay. But anything that involves, I don't want to say gay sex, but, that's like the gross thing that we don't want to talk about, or that's the nasty thing, right? So it's that idea of you can be gay as long as you are celibate.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like it's virgin horde sort of thing, except with your fan base.
Right. And he had some more to say about all this. He
doesn't stop talking.
No, he has not stopped talking since this happened, frankly. But the next thing he said was, and I'm just going to say this, I'm going to say it slowly, I'm not going to try to imitate the way he might have said it, because that's not me. It's not for me, as you say. I tell fans to put a cell phone light in the air. Y'all start a 1,000,000-man march. I told you y'all digested that wrong, but I ain't going to lie, I'm impressed. Now show this same amount of support when a racist cop kills one of our black asses, I think he was trying to say. You're not. He followed this up with, anybody who ever been affected by AIDS, HIV, y'all got the right to be upset. What I said was insensitive, even though I have no intentions on offending anybody, so my apologies. But the LGBT community, I ain't tripping on y'all, do you? Y'all business is y'all business. So that's kind of what you were saying about, hey, do what you want to do, just don't tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's this little flip that starts to happen with him, right? Or with this story, where he says in his last tweet on the subject matter, other than that, y'all cheer the fuck up and be proud of who you are, because you can't make me feel less of myself. Aside from that, Hidalgo, Texas and Corpus Christi, Texas. Get them tickets for Friday and Saturday. Like, hey, DaBaby, you know how to do promotion. I'm
#live show killer.
Taking notes from you. And so his responses post blow up of the comments are really just sort of like, this is how I feel. And if you have the freedom to be gay, then I have the freedom to not like it.
Yeah. And to criticize it. Yeah.
It's a stance I respect, right? I'd much rather have somebody come forward with that than the fake, I love you. I just don't. I love the. What is it? Love the lovers, hate the sinner.
Hate the sin, love the sinner.
Something that just.
I'll pray for you, Theo.
Well, I hope you have a lot of time on your hands because you're going to need it.
On the 28th, he then posted on Instagram, "You ever give one of the best performances of the entire festival, yet the most controversial and emotion-provoking performance as well, due to things deemed insensitive said during your performance, even though you're an entertainer, try to apologize and explain that you meant no harm and that you were only entertaining as you are paid to do and have no problem with anyone's sexual preference that is outside of yours, only to have a substantial amount of people refuse to understand your logic." Which is like, you're missing the point there, DaBaby.
Yeah.
You're way missing the point.
Yeah. And it's that thing of some arguments, some controversies, some viewpoints require nuance, and it's just not there.
No. He's completely missed it. And, I don't know why he thinks that because he's an entertainer that makes it okay to say homophobic things. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, so I don't have the quote, but he did say something like, it's part of hip hop.
Did he?
Yeah. Let's see if I can find that in my notes.
I don't think I have that quote.
I am going to find it.
So while you're looking, we can talk about a bunch of celebrities who have condemned his speech, basically, particularly the medical misinformation in his comments, because 1.2 million approximately Americans have HIV, according to recent CDC data. There is still no cure, but proper medical treatment can slow or prevent progression of the disease. And also condemned by the various celebrities were the stigmas that often link HIV and homosexuality. And of course, the illness can be contracted in a number of different ways and is not limited to gay people. So among these celebrities, Dua Lipa, who is actually named Dua Lipa, which I did not know. Her first name means love in, I forget what language. And she collaborated with DaBaby on her hit of last year, Levitating, which if you watch TikTok, you have seen 1,000 freaking times. And she said that she was horrified by what he said. "I really don't recognize this as a person I work with. I know my fans know where my heart lies and that I stand 100% with the LGBTQ community." She said on Instagram, "We need to come together to fight the stigma and ignorance around HIV and AIDS."
Which I'm going to say, for somebody of my generation, is an amazing thing to hear.
Great.
And witness, because not too long ago, this would have been a non-story.
Right. It's so true.
And I found my bit. Well, so this is where I shouldn't be talking about anything in rap because I just don't know. It was somebody named T.I.
Yeah.
Right? Who said on Instagram, if you have a little Nas X video and him living his truth, you're going to damn sure have people like DaBaby who are going to speak their truth.
Right.
And then, yes, obviously there is a huge component of there's a lot of homophobia in rap. It's sort of maybe moving out, but I'd say it's homophobia in rap is hand in hand with sexism in rap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which reminds me that Tory Lanez is another rapper who is also a supporter of DaBaby over these allegations. And he's the one, if you remember, which you probably don't, he actually shot Megan Thee Stallion in the feet as she was walking away from him after a party. So, I mean, and the other person that I know of that supports DaBaby is Boozy Badass, who said everybody ain't with their nephew sucking dick. Not everybody with that shit. You just can't put that shit on everybody and expect it to be cool.
Hey, everybody, you have to suck dick right now. Whatever you're doing, stop it and go suck some dick. Now.
He also threatened that if he saw Lil Nas X, I think you said this, recreate the new dance sequence in Industry Baby at an awards show, he'd drag his ass off stage and beat his ass.
And Lil Nas X had a response to that. So for those people, for those listeners, everybody's a people, who, like me, don't know very much about rap. Lil Nas X is an openly gay rapper who's had a large measure of success. And there's a small handful of rappers like, I don't even know, would Frank Ocean qualify as a rapper, or is he more R&B?
I don't even know.
I don't know, right? But I would say Lil Nas X is probably the gayest rapper out there. There you
probably,
go.
Yeah.
And he's won 2 Grammys, and he's just released a new video called Industry Baby, which is, I'm assuming the title has absolutely nothing to do with DaBaby, because the video was recorded a while back before these comments were ever made. But so in response to, was it Bozeman? Boozy
Badass.
Yeah. So in response to that, Lil Nas X sent a tweet out and said, "Here's what I have to say." And it was a link to his new video, right? Which, have you seen Lil Nas X's Industry Baby?
Have I? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you have? Okay,
yeah.
Great. So I had not until yesterday, because I was late doing my homework. And
it's great.
I was like...
I mean, the song is okay, but the video is great.
The video was really good. The song sounded like every other Lil Nas X song that I've heard, but I mean that in a good way, because I've liked the 3 things of his that I have heard, right? But so it was like, okay, this is your response. It's a great promotional thing, right? Like, I've got a new video out, right? It's almost like being rickrolled, except that's not what was going on with that. I think what was going on with that was Lil Nas X is linking to a video that he's done that shows a lot of homoerotic naked men dancing in the showers, not together, but I mean, they're all together in the same room.
Right.
So in this, I don't even know. I mean, I do know how to describe it. So, audience, we had to go off air so I could be educated in some vocabulary. So, Lil Nas X's video, Industry Baby, he's got some male dancers who are twerking, and he's throwing dollar bills up in the air, right? Now, in any other rap video, that would have been a woman's, woman twerking.
Twerking, yeah.
I'm going to find 17 reasons to say twerking today, just so I can keep it. That from like the working? Anyway, it doesn't matter where it comes from. Cool. And then there's a lyric, right? And so here really is where I think Lil Nas X is telling everybody just exactly what they can do with their thoughts about gay people in rap. So the lyric goes, "Need to get this album done, need a couple number ones, need a plaque on every song, need me like one with Nicki now, tell ya a rap N-word, I don't see ya, ha, I'm a pop N-word like Bieber, ha, I don't fuck bitches, I'm queer, ha, but these N-word bitches like Medea, yeah, oh yeah, let's do it, I ain't fall off, I just ain't released my new shit, I blew up, now everybody trying to sue me, you call me Nas, but the hood call me Doobie, yeah." So, okay, almost poetry, really, and we have to tackle it like poetry. So, in this, where he says, "Tell a rap N-word, I don't see ya," he's being discounted as a rapper, right? And that people say that he's just a pop rapper, right? And that he's gay, right? But he's saying he didn't fall off. He didn't fall out of fashion. He just hasn't released any new stuff. This song, this video is his new thing. But he has blown up since then. And while he's known as Nas, the hood calls him Doobie. And so what he's doing is he's establishing his street cred, right? He is a rapper. He is authentic. He is gay. He does have street background. And I didn't do any research into Lil Nas X, but I think somebody said there's a murder charge that's been floated about.
Against Lil Nas X? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know that. I read it somewhere and I was like, oh, really? Okay, that seems rather out there.
I'm going to check on it.
But yeah, so if only there was a way that we could tap into an information source to find that
Well,
out.
I'm looking right now. He only came out in 2019, which is interesting. He said the universe was signaling him to do so, despite his uncertainty whether his fans would stick by him or not. Oh, that's right. I remember when that happened. I don't see any information about any charges, so apparently he hasn't murdered anybody.
I just cough that up then out of my brain. So for me, this Lil Nas X video and song, his response, it's really just all about proving to the rap community that he is a rapper, that he has staying power, and that he is a real and authentic person.
Yes.
In the same way that every other rap person would, the qualifications they might throw out, he is throwing back at them. Right.
So he's obviously opposed to the homophobia in DaBaby's comments, which makes perfect sense. And Dua Lipa is as well. And even Elton John tweeted as a response that homophobic and HIV mistruths have no place in our society. And DaBaby responded to all this with, not surprisingly, sort of doubling down. He said, "Going out y'all way, creating artwork and shit, trying to gain new fans off my situation because it's quiet for y'all. Blanks better hit the studio or something." So he's like, you're just trying to make money off of me. Go make your own record, which is okay, whatever. And then he released a new video. So this video is called "Giving What It's Supposed to Give." It was released on Wednesday of last week, and he says that he made it before Rolling Loud, but he holds up a sign that says AIDS, and he says something like, "We're like AIDS, we never leave you," or "We never go away." And at the end of the video, the words "Don't fight hate with hate" appear in rainbow colors, and underneath that are the words, "My apologies for being me, the same way you want the freedom to be you."
Right, and in that, that statement, I get that, right? The earlier statement, "Don't fight hate with hate," that just really bugged me. It's like, don't hate me because I hate you.
Right, exactly. Okay, it's okay for me to hate, but don't hate me back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the second statement, yeah, I totally get that. Sure, absolutely. Everybody has every right to feel about what they want about any subject ever, and they don't need my approval to feel the way they feel.
Yeah, you have the right to be as big an asshole as you want to be.
Right, and you're allowed to even think that you're not an asshole.
Sure.
And it's a big planet. You've got your space, I have mine. But, don't drag me up onto your stage.
Do you think he made this video after or before he was on the stage at Rolling Loud?
Oh, for sure before. Making a video is a very, very involved process. As you know.
It's kind of a crappy video.
Yeah, but, I'll say it was intriguing to me. But then I am a white gay guy from Los Angeles who likes lattes, right? So It's kind of like, I'm watching it, and it's not so much that I'm confused about what's going on. It's just there are a lot of stereotypes that are present, and that I don't feel do a service moving any conversations forward in any way whatsoever,
or helping anybody, or doing anything good for anyone in the world.
Right. As a priest, or it's not a priest, he's a minister. So there's a funeral. This is the video. There's a video, and DaBaby shows up, and there's a guy in a coffin, and DaBaby walks up and spits on the guy, right? And of course, the minute DaBaby walks into the ceremony, everybody in the audience is like, "What's he doing here? Why is he here? What's going on?
How dare you?
How dare you be here?" And then I just watched, right? Yeah. And so the point of the song, I don't care. It seemed like,
I have no idea what the point of the song is. I guess so.
I'll kill you if you fuck with me kind of stuff.
But you were talking about the minister?
Well, yeah, so I was talking about the minister. Thank you. It's a bad habit of saying, "Hey, this thing," and then not talking about it at all. Right? And that's my way of getting attention. So the minister pulls out a gun and starts yelling at the audience.
Right.
And, and at first it was, not the gun part, but at first the minister was a funny figure to me because the minister's using street vernacular and saying fuck a lot, which is just not something you would see at a funeral.
Right.
and I didn't really pay any attention to what the minister was saying beyond the dialect, the accent, right, and the gun. So didn't get the video, but I think the point of the video was the end of the video, right?
I don't remember what happened at the end.
Don't fight hate with hate. And
right. That. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, so but why would he be saying that at all?
On. I think he tacked that on, right? So they made the video,
okay.
And then at a certain point, maybe they spliced in the age thing.
Gotcha.
But for sure, the end was. I mean, I don't know. This is not like DaBaby called me and said, "Theo, what should I do? Do this, DaBaby." But I'm going to say with 100% of my certainty, which makes this all true. That they edited that rainbow coloring, don't fight hate with hate. I have the freedom to be me, you be you stuff in the end. So cool.
It when I first, so this was this week or whatever was the first I heard of DaBaby, and I listened to some of his I watched some of his videos, and I thought, oh, this isn't too bad. And then I read about what happened, and I was like, ugh. And then I watched this last video, and this last video is just execrable. Yes, it was so bad. It was just unbelievably bad. It's probably one of the worst videos I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot, I think, because I've seen some bad videos, as we all have.
Yeah, we lived through the 80s. We've seen people just stand and stare at a camera and sing.
And Kate Bush and Peter Gabriel stand there and slow dance through an entire video. That was one of the worst videos I've ever seen, but I love both of them, so I won't say too much about it. But apparently online fashion retailer Boohoo, who we had a clothing deal with, is also unhappy with DaBaby because they said Boohoo man can Boohoo man. Boohoo man with the baby.
Do you know, I thought it was Boho.
I think it's Boohoo, yeah.
You're right. It's totally Boohoo, but I thought it was Boho, and I was like, oh, I'm going to look for that. Boho man. All right, clothes.
Boho man.
Yeah, like Bohemian. That's our new clothing brand, trademark.
Boho man.
We're boho.
Boho man and boho woman. We condemn the use of homophobic language and confirm we will no longer be working with DaBaby. Diversity and inclusion are part of the Boohoo Group's DNA, and we pride ourselves on representing the diverse customers we serve across the globe. We stand by and support the LGBTQ plus community and do not tolerate any hate speech or discrimination in any form. So that's a plus for Boohoo Man.
It's and it does sort of answer that point that DaBaby made, which is, hey everybody, if you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to sponsor me, and that's okay because you're just trying to make money off of black culture anyway, right? Yeah,
he did say something about that, which was interesting and which I skipped over. He said.
Did you skip over it because it was interesting?
Probably, yeah. This podcast, among all things, this podcast must never be interesting.
100%.
He said, crap, talk.
Oh, well, no problem there. Well, you find what...
I found it.
Okay,
he said,
see what
for
I did
any
there?
brands, yeah, you did it. And for any brands, networks, or artists that like to profit off of black rappers' influence on the culture without understanding it or having the patience to deal with what comes with the position we play in our culture, keep your money next time. Us blanks humans too. # God bless.
See, okay, so one, there's that God thing, but then two, yes, so he did say homophobia is in rap. That's where I got that from.
I see.
But I just forgot because I'm moving and selling a house, and
I didn't get that was what he was referring to. So you read that much more deeply than I did.
Oh well, also, this is well-trodden ground for me.
I see.
Oh, somebody doesn't like gay people. Okay, who is it? Let's think. Do I really like them? Can I separate their comments from their art?
Right.
Can I wear their clothing? Right. I mean, I do hold a grudge.
Good.
Still don't drink Coors beer, and
yeah,
they've got a lesbian vice president now. She's like the granddaughter.
I can't believe you would
ever
drink Coors beer in the first place.
It was cheap, and I had no money. But we
used to drink National Bohemian.
I'm
that was
all
the
about
cheapest
a
beer you
boycott.
could get. Yeah. No, totally. I won't go to Chick-fil-A, or I still won't go to Cracker Barrel, even though they're all cool now. So screw them.
I don't even know if they are cool now, but it's like, no,
they are, I think.
You didn't want me once upon a time, so you can't have me now.
You showed your true selves already.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's DaBaby for you. I think that's all I was able to dig up about him. Hopefully he'll turn around and become a valuable member of society.
Well, I mean, on one hand, he is producing art and he is inspiring people to pursue their dreams. And so, so that's cool. And, and I'm just getting, it's not that I'm conflicted. It's like, I totally get this, right? This is just how the world works. DaBaby said some anti-gay stuff that, it's not the most horrible thing I've ever heard. Okay. But then he worked with Lil Nas X on remixing one of, I'll say Nas because we're so close now, one of Nas's songs called Panini. He's worked with everybody seemingly in the industry. And that includes, he worked with Megan Thee Stallion, and then he worked with the guy that shot her in the foot.
Right.
But DaBaby is not taken to sides.
I guess.
Thank you.
And I wanted to put in a good word here, although it means nothing to anybody. For the women in rap lately, they're really killing it. The Megan Thee Stallion is fantastic. Cardi B is, of course, fantastic. And Nicki Minaj and Missy Elliott and all these women who have been becoming more and more popular in rap are just outstanding. And I think the men should just shut up and go away.
Yes. And you know who might agree with you?
Who?
Well, I mean, probably every woman in rap, but I would say maybe specifically Queen Latifah.
Did she say that?
No, but I needed a way to bring her up.
You need to bring her up? She's fantastic. She's OG.
She came out last Sunday.
She did?
She did.
Finally?
Finally, yes.
Well, good for her.
To no surprise of anyone, but the delight of me, I'm glad she's finally come out.
Glad she feels comfortable enough to do it. Yeah.
So on Sunday night, Queen Latifah was at the BETs, and she was receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award celebrating her multi-decade career as an actress, musician, and more. And she ended her speech by saying, "Ebony, my love, Rebel, my love, peace, happy pride." Right? Aww. And now Ebony and Rebel are rumored to be her longtime partner and their son. And that's the first time she's ever confirmed their relationship in public. And now, I mean, she didn't come out and say, "I'm gay," like, Jodie Foster did. But, connect the dots. Not hard.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Well, it is sweet. And I'm glad. And I'm glad that the culture has shifted to such a point where somebody can now come out professionally and not be afraid that their career is over. Of course, she was also receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. So
Lifetime Achievement Award. Yeah, the risk is small.
Yeah, right? Like, well, if I never work again, I guess okay.
Yeah, I still have this award.
Right, and all the money that came with it.
But I support everything Queen Latifah does, so I think that's great. Good for her.
Yeah, why not? And then I would say, like, aside from, oh my God, there's homophobia in hip hop, and oh, isn't that terrible? And there's sexism in hip hop, and oh, isn't that terrible? I am having some deja vu, and I want to throw this idea at you and see if you can catch it or make it even better. Okay. Let's see if you can trip over what I'm laying down.
I bet I can.
Right? I bet you can. Okay, so remember when rap first started, and how sad to say that I can remember when rap first started, right?
Basically, yeah.
I'm sure everybody knows this, but came out of the streets in New York. New York in the 70s was like a burned out husk of a city. Sorry, New York, you're much better now. It was rough. It was terrible. And,
it was great.
And, well, yeah, it was great at a certain point. But, to live there, it was great to visit. Oh, it's so dangerous. Gonna get shot. But, living there probably obviously a whole different thing. But so, rap grows out of that. And when all you have is your manhood, right?
Yeah.
and what it means to be a man. These things get hard baked into an art form, the culture, whatever terms we want to use, right? And so that's obviously where the sexism comes from, because the only thing you had going for you was how strong you were, how well you could protect your family from other criminals, right? And then as rap started to become popular and produce money, and as rappers started to get very involved, they still brought this street attitude background with them. And so that was all the fighting, right? And then we have Biggie Small. Who else has been shot and killed in the rap
all of them.
world,
I
right?
mean, a whole bunch of people. I can't remember.
A ton of people. And that was bad. And I can remember being, again, on the outside looking in, seeing news headlines like, rap star gunned down, rap person does this thing, rap star sent to jail. And, for a little while there, it was like, you guys, you have hundreds of millions of dollars. Do you really need to be robbing other people?
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was what it was. And then that sort of all became East Coast versus West Coast.
Right.
Right? Those were the gangs. Who's got the best rap style? Who's more authentic? It started here. We improved it. Blah, blah, blah. And then there was this, was it the Gram? Of course, it was the Grammys, Theo. It wasn't the Oscars where a bunch of rap stars were sitting down getting awards. So it was the Grammys. And there was like a peace deal brokered on stage. Do you remember that? Thing that happened? Yeah, there was something where and I'm going to say it was Snoop, but don't hold me to that because I've already said like three things that they weren't wrong, but they weren't true. But he was kind of like, hey, we're just going to say it's over, right?
Interesting.
There's no East Coast is better, West Coast is better. We're both good. And then I think they broke into a song, right?
Really?
I think so, yeah. You'd have to Google that. And I should have done that, but I didn't because none of that is the point of this other than it serves as background for the millennials and Gen Z fans who weren't there and don't know. Rap has just always been there like the internet, right? And now we have a new divide in rap. It's
You're right. It was
East
Snoop
Coast
Dogg
versus West Coast. See? I mean,
Snoop
I say
Dogg
that like, how dare you doubt me?
And Puffy.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean,
1997. Wow. Okay.
The two big powerhouses, right? But so they declared, and I'm pretty sure they broke into a song after that, but don't hold me to that too. But I think they did all perform together, right? Which is kind of weird because wasn't breakdancing that thing of like, we're tired of shooting each other in the street. Let's breakdance, whatever.
If you say so. I don't remember it that way, but okay.
All right, somebody.
Okay.
One of our listeners will Google that for us. So
a listener wants to know.
Somebody, I'll forget all about it after we're done. But so our new divide, gay versus straight in the rap world. It's not East Coast, West Coast. It's heteronormative, queer.
Okay.
Yes. Get ready. You're going to see a lot more of this type of news, nonsense, discussion coming out of the rap community.
Okay, I believe you. That's interesting. So those are the new lines against which we're going to
and I think, everybody needs an other, and the everybody that needs an other are the corporations that make the money off of this sort of fighting.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm buying your album because blah, blah. I'm buying your album because blah, blah.
I hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so how do we feel about DaBaby's apology?
Well, I'm
was
just
there
sorry,
even an apology?
DaBaby.
Kind of was an apology. He did say the words, "I apologize."
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this is a weird apology for me. So I'd give it a 1.5 if we can use fractions. It's not really an apology. But then on the other hand, I kind of want to give it a 9 because it's like, this is how I feel.
Oh.
And you don't like it, but you don't have to like how I feel. And I'm like, you're right. I don't like, but I know how you feel.
I'm thinking about that.
So
Is
one
that
minus
an
nine
apology
is
though?
7.
Is it an apology to say
It,
I don't care if you are upset? This is how I feel.
well, I don't think he said I don't care if you're upset. I think what he said, it's not even I think, what he said was, hey, everybody with HIV/AIDS, you're right to be angry with me. What I said was insensitive.
Yeah.
But as to the people that are, shouting homophobia, fuck you bitches.
Okay.
And
so you'd give it a what?
So right, that's where I'm really torn, and so I'm still going to stick this apology at a 1.5 overall. But I am going to say that, what do you call those little things that stand above a number and make it bigger?
What? No idea what you're talking about.
Don't pretend you don't know.
I don't know. There's no such thing.
It's not the exponent, and it's not a subscript. It's that littler number that squares things.
It's an exponent. There's an exponent.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. That kind of does work that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so the little number that would make my 1.5 bigger is the 9.
Oh my God!
The 9.
So that's fairly large.
9,000.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
To the ninth degree. Well, I give it a fucking -2. So there.
Okay.
I think screw him and his opinion, and he does not get to have that opinion at all, according to me.
Well, hey, and DaBaby would be the first one to tell you that you are allowed.
That I have a right to that opinion.
You are. That it is fine, and nobody can take it away from you. And nor should they. And yeah, I'll say this: like, if I was in the music industry and DaBaby was like, "I'd really like to work with you," I'd be like, "You have to suck my dick first, just so we can be friends."
Fair enough.
Yes.
All right. So who's sorry now, Theo?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I am not the one who is sorry now this week. Who's sorry now will be the Austin Police Department. So in this way that I can make any subject in the world relate to me, I am now able to make homophobia and rap and hip hop relate to me. Not because I'm gay and have feelings or opinions, because I don't have feelings or opinions on it. I don't care. Hate me all you want. Just give me my rights.
Okay.
But so there is a hip hop club across the street from our house, and there was a murder between one patron shot another patron dead in the street in front of my house. Yes. And that has been a very traumatic experience for me, and it's been a hard thing to process. Not only because it's such a senseless act, but also because on some level I feel like it didn't really affect me, but I'm a human, and so I'm feeling for this other human, right?
Yeah.
And Terrence Cole, who's the young man who was shot to death, was a member of the hip-hop community. And I will speculate, I've been on his Facebook page, I've been through his Twitter feed, I feel pretty comfortable saying this. If the situation was reversed and there was a gay club across the street from his house and I'd been shot to death, I don't know that he would have been sorry to see a gay person die, right?
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, I know that. I also don't know that he wouldn't have been, but I'm gonna say probably some homophobia.
Yeah.
It would have happened. I imagine my grammar's gonna be all over the place. Sorry, everybody. I've had 5 hours of sleep, and also this is a difficult thing for me to not so much talk through, but I'm still dealing with it. And it happened in October last year. And so I don't know that he would have felt the same way about my death had the situation been reversed, but that doesn't matter because my feelings are my feelings, and I don't even have a word for it. How devastated I am that this happened to him and to his family, and so the people who owe me an apology are grammar, the Austin Police Department for not having covered his body as it lay in the street while they investigated the scene for 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, Austin Police Department, you owe me an apology.
Wow.
Yes. And so that's how homophobia in rap rock. In rap rap? What?
Rip rap.
Thank you. You rip rap. Happens to me. Yeah. I didn't. It took me a few days when I was like, oh, what's my apology going to be? What's my apology going to be? I'm like, oh, yes, actually.
That's a great one. I mean, that's very appropriate.
Well, yeah, you're not going to make light of it. Get ready for all the dumb jokes that are about to come to help me relieve the tension that I feel. Yes, there we are. And, okay, so, big sigh, move that aside, put it in a little box, never touch it again. Just like everything else in my life, denial is my favorite flavor. Flavor?
Flair.
My favorite flavor. Anyway, okay, enough silliness for me. What about you?
I have a who's sorry now, but it's not related to rap at all. I couldn't think of any related to rap because I have not offended the hip-hop community in any way that I know of. Maybe after this show I have, and I'll get to apologize for it. At least some segment of the hip-hop community. But I have a general apology, and I am the one who's sorry. So what happened was I was friends with someone who turned out not to be a very good friend, but that's neither here nor there. You don't know this person. I don't know if I ever talked about her or not, but we were friends for a while. We used to go walking together in the morning. We would walk like for 2 hours every morning and chat and, walk her dog. And she had a cat. And one time she went away for a night and asked me to take care of her cat while she was gone. And I was like, sure, no problem. So the weekend or whatever goes by, and she comes back to work. She worked with me, and she comes back to work the next morning, and she's like, you didn't pick up the gift that I left for you when you looked after my cat. I stared at her, and I was like, oh, shit. I totally forgot to look after her cat while she was gone. And it was only one night, but I feel so bad about that. I was on this medication that made me a total zombie. It was like I would go out to lunch with my boss, and I would just sit there and stare into space. It was so bad. It was unbelievably bad. I had to stop taking that medication, but still, I should have written it down or something. And the cat was fine. I mean, she was gone like less than 24 hours, so the cat was totally fine. But if it had been any longer, there might have been a real problem. So I am very, very sorry that I did not look after that cat. And the cat was adorable too, so it would have been fun. And I'd never got that present either. Understandably.
Yeah, okay, so hold on. Just to fill out a few more details for me here. So did you say something like, oh, I left it behind on purpose to give it back to you?
No, I never thought about that at all. And I'm sure she must have known because I'm sure she left out food and the food was untouched. I mean, like a can of cat food and there was nothing missing or whatever. So it must have been obvious that I hadn't come and I didn't want to lie about it. But, oh, God.
Did you say like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry, I forgot?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I just sat there and I stared at her and I was like, basically, I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. And she was okay about it. I mean, she wasn't thrilled, but she was okay because it had only been one night. And we got over that, and later we broke up our friendship over other things. But yeah, I'm sorry to that cat for not having given her food one night.
Oh, well, yeah. The good news is that the kitty was perfectly fine, and had it been an issue, you would have heard about it.
Yeah, I totally would have heard about it. I don't miss that person, so it all turned out okay in the end, and the cat's totally fine. So
okay, good. Well, that is the most important thing. Is the cat?
That the cat is fine. Absolutely. So you're getting ready to head out now, aren't you? Going back home.
Oh yes, I am.
To Texas.
So looking forward to 10-hour drive back to El Paso.
Where are you staying overnight?
At a La Quinta, At the fabulous La Quinta West. No. But yes, out of
in
La
Tucson?
Quinta. In El Paso.
In El Paso. Okay. Oh,
Yes.
so you'll get pretty far today then. That's good.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, we'll get far, and it'll all be fine. And then the next day I'll get up and drive just as long to get into Austin. And then starts the packing and moving. But I am, very excited about all of that because it's a new chapter. It's a new everything. And the next time we record, I will be in my new podcast studio / house.
You will be already on Sunday? I thought you were moving till the 10th.
Yes, we're not moving until the 10th, but my favorite thing in the world is camping in a new house where you get the blow-up mattress and you have a couple of dishes and you just live in your new house. And so that's what I want to do.
Cool.
And we'll see.
When do you get to move in, so to speak?
Oh, we already have the keys.
Excellent. So you could do it right away if you wanted.
Oh, yeah. I'll be moving in all week. I'll be taking up all the little things that make me happy. Like, I'm going to make bread. So I need my cast iron pot. I need my bread thingy. What do you call those pans you put in the oven? A pan?
Bread pan?
Yeah.
The loaf pan?
5 hours of sleep. That's what, and no coffee.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, I know. How am I even standing up? I don't know.
How are you functioning? I don't know.
I don't know. And I'll tell you what, this drive is going to be one motherfucker. I am going to hate it.
You better have some coffee.
Oh, that'll be, yes. And Red Bull. And then stopping every 5 minutes.
Very good. Yes. Excellent. Well, on that note, I should let you get started on your road trip.
No, I don't want to go.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to us. We're glad you're here, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Apologies Accepted, the podcast.
You can find links to the articles and the sources in the show notes.
To submit an apology or find out more, visit us at apologiesaccepted.net, where you can also find our merchandise.
We're on Twitter at Apologies Accepted.
And on Instagram at apologies.accepted.
You can support our important work at Patreon /Apologies Accepted.
And fuck Facebook.
Bye.
Bye.